Have you ever picked up a really dense book, something that's not a story, and just thought, there's no way this could ever be a video series? Well, that's exactly the challenge we're tackling today. We're going to break down how to take a super complex guide and turn it into dozens of short, watchable videos. Yeah, it sounds impossible, but trust me, we've got a blueprint. Okay, so let's get specific. Over here on the left, this is our source material. It's called Secrets of the Psalms, and it's this 19th century book on practical Kabbalah. It is dense, it's kind of weird, and it reads like an old school instruction manual. And on the right, that's our goal, a whole library of binge-worthy short videos. You know, something you'd actually watch today. That gap between them, it looks massive, right? So that's the big question, isn't it? How do you possibly get from this to this? It's a classic producer's puzzle, and today we're going to solve it together. So, here's our game plan. First, we're going to really look at this impossible book. Then, we'll find its hidden formula, use that to design a video template, and then scale it all up into a full series. And stick around, because at the end, I'm going to show you how this whole thing is actually a universal method for explaining pretty much anything. All right, first up, the impossible book. Let's really dig into what makes this source material such a unique challenge. So, what is this thing, really? Well, it's not a storybook. There's no plot, no characters. Think of it more like a spiritual recipe book. It literally details how to use specific psalms to solve very specific real-world problems. We're talking everything from headaches to, yes, angry dogs. And here is the single biggest problem. The book is basically just a list, a really long, really repetitive list. A psalm for a headache, a psalm for a court case, a psalm for when a vicious dog attacks you. I mean, it's fascinating stuff, but it's not exactly a page-turner. There is zero natural narrative here, which makes creating engaging videos a huge challenge. So, how do we fix this? Well, we have to stop thinking like a reader and start thinking like a producer. The secret is to deconstruct the source material, to look for its hidden structure, its repeatable pattern. And you know, the book itself kind of gives us a clue right in the intro. It promises that if you do X, you will get Y. It's a practical guide, and just like any good instruction manual, it has to have some kind of repeatable logic. Our job is just to find it. And boom, when you break down any entry in this book, a super clear 4-step formula pops out every single time. First, you've got the problem. Then, you've got the prescription, which psalm to use. Third, there's the mystical element, like a holy name you need to use. And finally, the ritual, the exact thing you have to do. This 4-part structure, this is our big breakthrough. Now that we have this formula, we can finally get to the creative solution. We can build a video template, a repeatable structure that perfectly mirrors our 4-step formula. This is what's going to make production scalable, super fast, and make the content crystal clear for anyone watching. So let's take it for a spin. We're going to use one of my favorite quirky examples from the book. What to do if you're attacked by a vicious dog, using Psalm 58. Let's see how our template handles it. Okay, step 1, straight to it. What's the problem? A vicious dog is attacking you. It's urgent, it's simple, we get it. Step 2, what's the fix? Psalm 58. No fluff, no messing around, just the essential info. This is exactly what makes short-form video work so well. And finally, the ritual. What do you actually do? Well, you pray it. And the book adds, quickly. And just like that, in a few quick seconds, we have a complete, self-contained micro video. This is a format we can now use for the entire book. Okay, so a template is amazing for making one-off videos. But how do you turn like 150 of these into a series that people actually want to watch? Well, that takes a bigger strategy to keep people engaged. This is really the next level of the challenge, right? We figured out how to make the videos, but now, how do we organize this new library of content? How do we help people find what they need, and maybe even discover things they didn't know they were looking for? So we've got a few different ways we could do this. We could group everything by theme, like Psalms for Money, which is great for people searching for specific solutions. Or we could group by quirkiness, like a playlist of the weirdest Psalms, which would spark curiosity and get a lot of shares. Or we could just go straight by number, which is perfect for the completionists who want to watch the whole thing in order. Okay, let's zoom out for the big takeaway. Because this whole process of analyzing a dense text and turning it into a video series, it's not just about some old book. This is actually a universal method you can use for pretty much anything. So why should you care about this? Because whether you're trying to explain a complex piece of history, a dense scientific paper, or even your company's boring internal documents, this blueprint for deconstruction and templating absolutely works. So here it is, the whole thing in 3 simple steps. 1. Deconstruct. Find that core repeatable pattern in whatever you're trying to explain. 2. Template. Build a reusable format based on that pattern so you can create content fast. And 3. Archive. Organize all that content into a smart library that keeps your audience coming back for more. This method can turn what feels like overwhelming source material into a clear, manageable video series. So I'll leave you with this question. What impossible source would you explain? The blueprint is all yours.